Hey everyone, hope you're doing good. We're continuing our annotation review of the first reading of the Quran. Before we get started, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alright, so we are in Maida, and I annotated 97. Allah made the Kaaba, the sacred house, an asylum of security for men, as also the sacred months, the animals for offerings, and the garlands that mark them, that ye may know that Allah hath knowledge of what is in the heavens and on the earth, and that Allah is well acquainted with all things. I also annotated 100, but just this one phrase. Bad may dazzle thee, so fear Allah, or ye that understand, that so ye may prosper. The bad may dazzle thee. Think about that. So even if it has the glitz and the glamour, it's so beautiful, it's so refined, it's so luxurious, so pompous and full of pageantry, it could still be very bad for you. How many of us forget that? Seriously, so many people are deluded by aesthetics in a sense where they don't really think about if something good or bad. They see the beauty and assume that it by default must be good, beneficial. That one is deeply philosophical. You could go for a long time about that. 106. O ye who believe, when death approaches any of you, take witnesses among yourselves when making bequests, to just men of your own brotherhood, or others from outside, if ye are journeying through the earth. And chance of death befalls you thus, if ye doubt their truth, detain them both after the prayer, and let them both swear by Allah, we wish not in this for any worldly gain, even though the beneficiary be our near relation. We shall hide not the evidence before Allah. If we do, then behold, the sin be upon us. So this would be very relevant if you were in a position of power, because on a lot of people's deathbeds, some trickery can happen, right? So you want to make sure that someone doesn't just lie and say, so-and-so said this and so-and-so said that. And then I annotated on 108, for Allah guideth not a rebellious people. It's quite wonderful to review everything. Okay, now we're in An'am, Surah 6, or cattle. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. I annotated number 2. He it is who created you from clay, and then decreed a stated term for you. I like that. Decreed a stated term. So, think about it. It's over, you know? And there is in his presence another determined terms. Yet ye doubt within yourselves. Also 3. And he is Allah in the heavens and on earth. He knoweth what ye hide, and what ye reveal, and he knoweth the recompense which ye earn by your deeds. And that was a unique ending, right? He knoweth the recompense which ye earn by your deeds. What are you earning with your deeds, right? What are you earning? You're accumulating good or accumulating bad? It's quite interesting when you look at that in relation of ethics. How do you exist without a sort of ethics going on? And then on 60, I annotated, it is he who doth take your souls by night, and hath knowledge of all that ye have done by day. By day both he raise you up again, that a term appointed be fulfilled. In the end unto him will you return. Then will he show you the truth of all that ye did. Show you the truth of everything you did. Everything. Under the sun. Everything. And then 70. Leave alone those who take their religion to be mere play and amusement, and are deceived by the life of this world. But proclaim to them this truth, that every soul delivers itself to ruin by its own acts. Look at that. That's amazing, you know? It will find for itself no protector or intercessor except Allah. If it offered every ransom or reparation, none will be accepted. Such is the end of those who deliver themselves to ruin by their own acts. See, it's like accountability. Personal accountability. No blaming anyone else. Can't blame your environment. Can't blame anything. It's up to you. They will have for drink only boiling water, and for punishment one most grievous, for they persisted in rejecting Allah. And then on 71 I annotated, Allah's guidance is the only guidance, and we have been directed to submit ourselves to the Lord of the worlds. Now, what's beautiful about that is that if you look at it on a much deeper level, some will say, well, you obviously don't need to read anyone else's books because there's only guidance from one book. When I look at it as, that's kind of like the Creator perfecting you, flexing your muscles, growing, and making your neurons have more connectivity, and developing and cultivating yourself to a firm degree, right? If you're gonna make a statue, you gotta smooth out them edges, you gotta make it. You can make crevasses and make it dynamic, right? But you have to let some work be done, right? Which comes from action, not from just residing, right? It's fantastic. Truly fantastic. Oh, and then on 74 I just annotated Azar. His father, that was the name of his dad. So I think that's cool. His dad, we know his dad's name. It's a very cool name. Okay, on 96, he makes the night for rest and tranquility, and the sun and moon for reckoning of time. Such is the judgment and ordering of him, the exalted in power, the omniscient. See, this makes it too clear here, because the night for rest and tranquility, that's not how a lot of people live, at least where I am. It's the night comes, it's time to make go down. I mean, the nightlife, right? I mean, how many of the cities, like Las Vegas during the virus, they're freaking out. They want to open up everything, otherwise their economy is shut down. They depend upon the nightlife. Think about that. So if you would be a hard time to, stay good in a place like that. What do they say? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? So all hours of the night, in the shroud of darkness, people wasting their lives, ruining their lives, spending their valuable money. It's crazy. And then also on 100 I annotated, yet they make the jinns equals with Allah, though Allah did create the jinns, and they falsely, having no knowledge, attribute to him sons and daughters. See, that's also revolutionary in that verse, because so many people think that the devils, the jinns, and little critters in that nature, regardless of whatever religion you're coming from, so many people put them on the same level as God, or take them as God. Which you're like, whoa. You can understand though, like if people who haven't really thought about religion, and then let's say something happens to them supernatural, they'll get their mind will blow and think that was God talking to them when it was maybe just some mischief of another entity, right? It's quite interesting. On 101, to him is due the primal origin of the heavens and the earth. How can he have a son when he hath no consort? He created all things, and he hath full knowledge of all things. So the consort doesn't have like a female wife. Doesn't need to have one. He can just say be, and that is it. That's not bound by human biology. 106. Follow what thou art taught by inspiration from thy Lord. There is no God but He, and turn aside from those who join gods with Allah. 107. If it had been Allah's plan, they would not have taken false gods, but we made thee not one to watch over their doings, nor art thou set over them to dispose of their affairs. You're not set over them to do their affairs. Again, going with the oneness angle. It's very beautiful.